Want the good, the bad, and the ugly of home improvement? You found it. This is Rick's House. To build a strong house, you gotta start with a solid foundation. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Stover's Liquidation knows that the cost of materials to build or remodel a home has gone up, but the prices are low at Stover's Liquidation. Stover's Liquidation's got great everyday prices on luxury vinyl planks starting at 69 cents per square foot, pre-finished hardwood flooring starting as low as $179 a square foot, appliances that are hundreds less than you'll pay at a big box store, and just in, high-end appliances by Viking, Thermador, and Decor save thousands of dollars. Come shop us in Oak Ridge or online anytime at stoversliquidation.com. Stover's.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Bar still feeling bumped. I was pouring him his first one. Smiled at him and said, "Hey son, bet I can guess why you're here. I've seen that broke down face before, dragging that busted heart through that door, searching desperately for that cure that dries up tears. And by the time you get enough of them down, you'll forget about her walking out. Where there's a beer, there's a way to put a smile back on your face. Just keep walking.
Good Saturday, or actually Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the program. A new podcast that we've started on Sundays, a little bit different, a little more music, a little more stuff, and we're going to be doing that on the Facebook Live pages as well as other things. Brian, good to see you in there this morning. Now, I noticed that the call-in line is going to be just a touch different, and we're going to try that here in just a little bit once we get Vance engaged and some of the other folks that join. But it'll be the Miracle Method message line will actually become our call-in line at 865-255-3911. That's what you do, how you get us, and how we make that happen. And we're going to talk about all kinds of things, home improvement. I've got every phone I got working to facilitate it, and we're just going to talk some general stuff. John Horton will be here. Okay, good deal. Looking for John coming in with us, and some of that steampunk Johnny coffee, man, that stuff is fantastic. You don't even have to put nothing in it. Brian, is our levels okay? Are you comfortable with what you're hearing out there? I kind of been checking it just a little bit, but want to make sure that sounds okay. Live in the camper here in the travel trailer, you can kind of see I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm actually running a movie, streaming a movie. I got to cut that down. I'm streaming a movie off of Arnold Schwarzenegger movie off of the other computer that's running on the big screen. So we'll try to show y'all some of that kind of stuff, and we'll have some noise and stuff that'll happen while we're here. It's just the nature of the beast when you're utilizing from being on the road. So we're excited about that. Vance will probably be joining us about 25 after 12:30, something like that. And we'll see how we get him engaged and go from there. And I want to try some new stuff. This is just easier. And with the Streamlab that we have now, it allows us to do a lot of things. But the thing about it is I've got to figure out how to do those things, because we've got, all kinds of stuff happening, and, where, we can add a guest, and, we'll experiment with that. I can invite folks to do that. We can send the link to invite those guests. So, I mean, there's just so much to do that, golly dogs, I'm just having to learn it. So we'll do that. We had some great conversation on the program yesterday on WJBZ at 96.3 Praise FM, but this is going to be something new for us and for lots of our folks that listen to us in other parts of the world and other parts of the country. So we're excited about that. We're going to talk more about this. Will be another venue where we can go after church on Sundays, and you can come see us, and we'll be at Baker Boy Pizza, for instance, or we'll be at Knoxville Salvage, and we'll be in places that are open on Sunday where you're going to go. And Senor Taco is another place that we'll be visiting in Cancun, and where you can actually see the food and do those kinds of stuff. So that's the whole idea behind the podcast, and it's going to allow us to do that, as well as, you know, all the music that we use. We either have permission from the artist, or we have paid the license to utilize it. When we talk about Epidemic Sound, we use a lot of that kind of stuff, so it gives us a little more room to add things that are royalty free for different genres. So, you know, we're excited about that. Going to talk about roofing today. I know Brian has been talking to me about Roof Max. And, you know, we actually had Roof Max on the show. And they were great folks. Seem to have a really neat product. I noticed that there's another company, and I meant to jot it down, and I didn't have time this morning when I was doing that. But there's another company that was on there, and they were talking about a very similar product. I guess it's just like anything. When you get something good, everybody else is trying to copy it. So, you know, I can't remember the name. It's Roof something. But I think Roof Max is the original, and I sure found great opportunities when I talked with the owners of that company and found them to be, you know, straight up, and I get very good reviews. And if they're getting approved by insurance companies, then that's making a whole difference. You know, good morning, Mom. Good to see you, baby. And I hope you're doing well this morning. Everybody, Donna is my mom, and she is in here with us this morning. So we affectionately call her Grandma. And so we're glad to have her out in New Mexico visiting with us this morning. She's out your way, Brian. Brian's in Lacey, Washington, in Washington State. And so we're going to talk about roofing a little bit. You know, I wrote an article for Farm Bureau or State Farm One, I can't remember, several years ago. And I keep getting this thing on my computer that keeps saying that I don't have enough of I don't have enough Google space, and they want me to buy Google space. Well, I finally went into my Google documents and figured out that I had a lot of duplicate stuff in there. I had a lot of stuff I don't want to get rid of because it's stuff that we used, and it's pictures we have and things we have for being on the road. But it's also stuff that, you know, when it's a big file and you got 3 or 4 of them, then it's time to get rid of it. Now, I also want to say that the call-in number is 865-255-3911. That's the Miracle Message call-in line on Sundays, and it's also the Miracle Method message line. That is so hard to say if I try to say it fast, but you can also send us a text on that too. That'll be a new thing that we're going to try, and we'll try that today once we get Vance in here where he can assist me with that. But I wrote this article, and quite frankly, I'd forgotten about it over the years. You know, with the Facebook thing telling us we were restricted the other day, and then we got that. It's like, come on, people, really? I mean, really? You know. So, like I said, I'm going to be swapping back between pages, back and forth to see, because I can't see everybody on one page, then I can't see everybody on the other page. But we'll make sure that we try to include everybody. And the beauty about this is we just go till we get tired of talking. We don't have to stop just then. I mean, we can do what we got to do and keep going. Oh, I see. There's Vance. Brian Merritt. How you doing, brother? Good to see you in there. John, thank you. All right. So I'll have to switch back and forth. Brother Brian, good to see you in there. Fella Eagle from our high school, Gibbs there. But when we talk about roofing, you know, we've talked about this whole thing continuously about insurance companies using drones, you know, and using that drone to fly over your house and go, hey, you need a new roof. And if you don't get a new roof, then we're not going to insure you anymore. And I jokingly said, however, being from the country, I jokingly said that, you know, I tell you what happens when the little drone flies over the roof, you hear a loud bang and the little drone goes away. I don't see how they can do that. You know, there's a domain, a part of airspace there that actually I think you can buy. And I'm going to talk to my attorney. He's in Ireland right now, but I'm going to talk to him about that and see what his thoughts on it are. But it's one of those things that if your roof's not too far gone, you can use the Roof Max product, which is a soybean oil. And that's what Brian and I have been talking about. And we had them on and it's all good. Vance, it's good to see you in there. I'm going to send you an invite here in a minute to see if we can pull you on video too, so that they can see you just as well. So I'm gonna send you a link while I'm talking. Well, when we go to commercial break, I'll do it. When we go to timeout, we'll do it then, because I can't do too much at once. So the Roof Max product basically revitalizes your roof with natural products. And anytime you can use a natural product, that's fantastic. We talked about Bug MD yesterday for fleas and ticks and bugs and all that kind of stuff. That, you know, for your dog, we took our dog to the groomer. The dog come back with fleas. Hadn't had fleas all year, so we're dealing with that. And he's small. He's about 8-9 pounds, and so, you know, there's a pill you can give them that they can take once a month. But when you do that, sometimes our vet says that's hard on smaller dogs, so we don't want to do that. So we're trying that right now. Amy's treating him with essential oils, which, man, those bugs hate essential oils. Essential oil has so many uses. I mean, it's and if it's natural, I dig it, and I think it's good. And I think that's something that we can utilize to help with our pets. But back to roofing, you know, the first thing you want to do is don't get on your roof. You should never be on your roof. Every time you get on your roof, you have the potential to fall. You have the potential to get injured, and every time you walk on that roof, you have the opportunity to damage that roof, especially if it's in poor care. Now, if you got a leak or you got something like that, you got to do that. I mean, I understand that, but unless you absolutely positively have to, I don't recommend getting on your roof. I recommend calling a professional. But what you can do is walk out a distance away from your house and your yard, and I'm just going to look at the roof. That's what we do. When I was selling roofs, we never got on the roof. You know, that we had the installation crews that would do that before they would add anything or there was a problem. Hey, good morning, Shannon. Good to see you, girl. Thank you for the recommendation and that's actually Shannon, who we used to work with out in Oregon. She's the one who recommended that treatment to us for our dogs. And so Amy's got that ordered, and that's going to be fantastic. We got that going on. But when we have that happening, the first thing you're going to look for in that roof is you're going to look for missing shingles, missing shingle tabs, something blown away. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to look for what we call nail pops. And nail pops is where a nail has, because of the heat, has been drawn and moisture, the nail gets hot and it will actually back itself back up, and that'll create a hole. Now, the toughest thing about finding a leak on a roof is, hey, Melissa, good to see you, girl. This is our new Sunday edition that we're doing, and on Facebook, we're making that happen. But I don't know how to shut that sound off, Amy, on that. Can you assist me with that? I got the chief woman in here, and she's watching a movie, which y'all can see in the corner of the screen with headphones so that I can broadcast. So that's just how we do it. But when that water comes in, it's going to follow the path of least resistance. So it may come in 20 feet away, and you may not even know that it's, you know, where it's coming from until you actually do that and you take a look at it. And so that's just why you got to get a professional in there. And then, of course, we're going to look around chimneys to see if they're properly flashed, if you've got dampness on your brick. If you've got pieces of flashing that are pulling loose, or for your vents that go through your roof system, we want to look and make sure that we don't have those boots look brittle, or maybe have slid up, or may have cracks in them, those kinds of things. All those things are important. So those are telltale signs. And then the other thing is how much of the granules off your asphalt shingle roof do you have in your gutters? If you're getting a lot of granules, or if the shingles look sparse in places and dense in places, then we got an issue, because we're losing that. Of course, everybody asks me, well, what about the black streaks? What about the mildew? What about the mold? Well, a shingle is organic material. And so if you have organic material in shade, like trees or things like that, what happens is you've got, if it's blocking the light and you got dampness and you got organic food, that's what causes those streaks. And the newer shingles have some things with that. We used to use what was called a Z-bar that was actually made out of zinc. And you would put that zinc bar across the top of your roof on either side of your pitches, where your roof vent was. And then when it rained, the rain would actually pull the zinc off of the zinc. It would deteriorate the zinc, kind of like the dip tube in your water heater. It would deteriorate that and run those chemicals down, and it would really slow down that mold growth. So that's something that's important too. So these are the things to look at, and these are some of the things that we talk about knowing to have a new roof. We're going to take our first time out. When we come back from that time out, we're going to do something really cool and jump into more conversation about that. I'm going to try to send Vance because y'all that haven't seen Vance, he's our producer. And I'm going to try to send him a link so he can join us too. We'll see if we can get him on the video as well. So we're learning today. This is a new experience, but we're going to do these on Sundays. It's going to start at 12 noon at Eastern time where we are. And hopefully that gives you guys out west time to kind of get up and shaking and moving around and try to give you tips and helpful things. And we'll have sponsors from out there, and we'll have sponsors from over here. So that's what we're going to do. You're listening to Rick's House. We'll be right back. Hang on, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Now listen, if you've not been to Baker Boys, have y'all tried Baker Boys pizza yet? Oh my good gracious. Let me tell you something. It's on Cherry Street. If you get off on Cherry Street, turn toward Magnolia, and you'll see Baker Boys down there on the right. He's got a 30-inch pie, like not even got in my van and got the door closed. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, a slice of pizza feed 10 kids. Baker Boys Pizza is the place. I'm telling y'all, go by and see them and tell them that we sent you, and they're going to take care of you. They're going to be proud to see you, and they're going to be glad to feed you and your family. Great place for after church on Sundays. Go by and see the team at Baker Boys Pizza and tell them that Rick's House sent you.
To build a strong house, you gotta start with a solid foundation. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. Let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Popper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Hello, this is Pete with Sanders Plumbing Company. We've been your local trusted plumber since 1989. We're not a franchise or a branch of some huge company from out of town. We're your friends, neighbors, and part of your community. Let us take care of all of your plumbing needs, and we'll treat your home as if it were our own.